welcome. And if you're here already, welcome back to Celestales with me, your host, Tony, coming at you live from not even at my studio, but from a recording on a tablet. I don't know when this will be out. Would it be out after the minis or before the minis? Not sure yet. Well, I'll figure that one out. But I'm recording practice. Is like I'm taking this is my thing where if I can't take my equipment with me, this tablet will take the recordings using a voice recording app. And using my phone as the Discord call, I brought my special guests. You know them, you love them. I particularly love one in general, and the other one's still on his way to being up there. It's Miss Soto Niwa and Justin. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
And we're here to bring you the top quality content you've always wished for. As a repeat of last recording, where we talked about kinks, fetishes, and why lives matter in different ways. So, how are you guys doing?
Viewer discretion could be advised?
Viewer discretion is always advised.
Oh, man.
So how are you guys? Talk to me. Tell me your ways, your feelings.
Doing pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can't complain either. I always look forward to talking to you, so maybe my night just got better.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was really looking forward to this because last week was pretty fun.
Oh, I'm glad. We like to bring the fun wherever we go at Celestales. And we like to be free about our words in, a nice way. So a lot of things happened this week, and I feel like we really should talk about them, So, we have a couple of things that happened this week. We have a new character for Pokemon Unite. We have a new character for Smash Ultimate. I've got into a fierce argument with a Fedex driver.
Oh?
A Fedex driver.
I said, oh?
Oh. And I was watching an anime, and it pointed out something, and I'm like, oh, okay. That's interesting. I feel like I should talk to someone about that, because that is an interesting topic. So, we have a lot to go off. So whatever you guys feel like you want to go off, which one, we'll go with that.
Well, I'm not particularly into the Pokemon Unite. I just started on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear about this new Smash character. I didn't hear about this.
All right, Soto, this is your time to shine. I already know it. It's there. Come on. Pull through. Pull through.
Alrighty. I've been holding back my excitement for a while, but okay. It's about freaking time. Like, you know this, Tony, because you've been a fan of this this franchise longer than any of us, really. So, but, oh my gosh. Like, I finally just got into the game and everything, and it's amazing. It's happening. Yes. My question is just like once I get the pass and everything, or if I just get him as a single character, because I'm still debating on if I want the other characters. I can tell you, I don't have any friends who are going to be like, oh, Steve from Minecraft. You know what I mean?
That was just me, though.
But I am willing to get the other fighters as well, so I'm probably just going to get the pass anyways. Actually, how much is it? I'm going to go back to the shop. Nintendo shop, here we go!
So for those of you who are living under a rock, or just don't care and are supporting me by just listening to this podcast, Sora from Kingdom Hearts came out on the Smash Bros. Ultimate. He is a Disney/Square Enix owned character, so whatever Nintendo had to jump through to get him in Smash, and you even show the little Mickey icon on his sword, we're wondering. Some people are saying it's the 35th anniversary of Disney, so they were like, let him have it. It's alright. But others are saying because it's technically owned by Square Enix, and everyone else Disney affiliated is nowhere in the game, so it kind of works itself out. But they acknowledge that he's finally here because on his little battle card, when they introduce characters, they usually be like, character something something. So for Sora, it says, Sora is finally here. Like, guys, he's here. Finally. You can calm your tits. Calm it.
Okay. Oh, I see where... Yeah. Okay. Oh, Min Min's adorable. No, I have to have her.
What a gal.
Okay.
What a gal.
$30. Fine.
$30.
Nintendo, just take my money. Just fucking take my money.
$30 for the fighter pass?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. You weren't there. See, if you were at the beginning, it would have been cheaper because I got all the passes. So it was like, hey, you saved money. I was like, live better. Nintendo.
You were smart. I wasn't.
No, it's all right. But you didn't care so much, so it worked out for you.
I just wanted to get the game. Like, the game came out when I was working at GameStop, so I was able to kind of like get. I could have gotten everything all at once, which I should have. But then I saw the additional prices, and I'm like,
yeah.
Because the game first came out, it was like $60, which
Yeah.
I was already like, oh my gosh. So
Standard
yeah.
price for a new game, yes. Uh-huh.
I mean, it just depends on what you get. Like, the indie games are cheap as hell, man.
Well, yeah, because they don't really require much payment.
Not really. But, like, Smash, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think there's also... I'm trying to remember, like, what happened. I just know that I got the game alone because it was just cheaper that way.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think to get, like, the other passes because I'm like, oh, it's not going to matter that much. And I go back and bitch slap myself.
Yeah. But everyone's happy, Justin, that Sora is finally here. I know who I'm going to name when he pops out.
That's great.
It's a flighty little asshole. Hey, well,
Okay.
yeah, we're all happy and excited for Sora. That was pretty much it. We got nothing more for that one. I guess we can cross that one out, huh?
I do have a question, Tony.
Yeah,
because
man.
I've seen the YouTubers react to this. How did you respond when Sora finally was announced?
Guess what? I was at work.
Oh, you had to keep your cool.
I looked at no social media at all. At all. So I got home and I was like, all right, time to look up Nintendo thing. And, it's already in the title. You just see Sora. I'm like, And the funny thing was, I predicted this.
How'd you predict it?
Okay, so when the Nintendo Direct came out, which is basically, everyone has these, and Nintendo just calls it the Nintendo Direct. It's basically where they showcase what's coming up and all that, what to get excited for. And I was talking to my friend while we were watching it. I'm like, there's only so many ways you can end off Smash. Because this is the last fighter of Smash Ultimate. So it has to be showy. It has to be something the people want. And it's got to be out of left field. And I was like, Sora fits all of those to a T. Because Sora is showy. Because he's anime. He is something people wanted. And because of how everyone was like, nah, Sora's not in Smash, guys. We've already said no. He was the most left field character. Maybe not the most, but he was out there because, well, the person who owned Sora said no. And then they gave you Sora. He was literally not expected. While being expected. He fits the criteria to a T.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into a fight with a FedEx driver?
All right. That'll lead into my job. this job is like, you can't really show people what you're unloading, not because it's dangerous, but it's for like personal reasons of like the family's discretion. So we're at a warehouse because that's where we're unloading. And there's like a truck in front of our van. Think of like the bay and then us like a T, and then right at the bottom of the T there's like a truck parked in front of us. So a FedEx guy, we see this FedEx truck just pull up, right? We're looking at it, right? And we wait like 5 minutes and he's still there. So I walk out there. I'm like, hey man, do you need to get by or something? Because we're going to be here for a while. We're unloading. And I'm not going to tell him what we're unloading because that's kind of wrong. He's like, can't you just park, to the side or anything? And I'm like, hell no. So I tell him, no, man, we're unloading these. We cannot move. Like, and it's not really our fault. It's mostly that truck's fault. Because we're unloading at our bay. And that's fine. It's our bay. We're allowed to do that. It's just the fact that the truck is parked on the side of that person's bay. So it's not in the front of it, and it's not on a parking spot. It's on the side of that person's bay. So it's technically blocking way, kinda. So the FedEx truck, being like a regular FedEx truck, not one of those mini ones, he can't get by. And we're like, man, we cannot help you. You can either wait and we'll finish up and you can go by, or you could drive around, because there's another entrance, but he would have to drive like up a one-way, go over a street, go down a one-way, and then come back around. Like, it was like a nice square formation he would have to do. There's no like circle or U-turn. He has to do a square. And a FedEx driver is just like every other driver that has to deliver postal or packages. They're on a time limit. They have to like get things done. So he starts taking pictures of the car. And I'm like, what's he going to do? Who's he going to report to? Who do you report to about that? If you take pictures of our car, it's like, I'm going to report you. To who? But he could also just show his supervisors why he's late. He's like, I couldn't park. This van was in the way. And I can understand that. What I hate is the fact this guy came up in our business, our little bay. He's like, hey man, can you move the car? I'm like, the fuck? You don't walk into some guy's business while he's unloading. You want to know why? I'm unloading dead people. I work in a funeral business. Like, come on, man. That's not cool. I mean, they're all covered and everything. You can't really see it. But if you don't know what you're looking at, you're not going to really know. But that's not cool. He walked up and we're like, bro, we cannot move. We're unloading. I can't help you any more than what I'm doing now. Now, my coworker, he got mad because we're here being civilized. We're telling him we cannot move, and he keeps hounding us to move the van. He's wasting so much time when he could have just drove around by now.
Yeah.
So my coworker cursed him out. He's like, man, get your ass out of here. And I'm like, granted, I wouldn't have cursed him out. But yeah, I shared the sentiment, which is why I didn't interrupt him. Because, man, you wasting all this time when you could have just drove around or waited. Mostly drove around. You would have had it big time. And so what he decides to do is, while we're unloading, he gets as close as possible in front of our van and in front of the truck to unload whatever he's got. And I'm like, you could have did that in the first place.
Oh my.
He could have did all this, but he was more like, yeah, get out the way. And I'm like, I can't move it. But instead of going around waiting or just doing what he just did at the end, he decided to almost pick a fight with us. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Some people are just, I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes people don't think.
Yeah.
So, all in all, you had fun dealing with that possible Ken. He sounds like a Ken, honestly.
It was an Hispanic guy, I'm pretty sure.
No, I meant, like, because you know how you have, like, the Karens, and then you got, like, the males on there?
Oh, wait, they're called Kens? I never knew it.
I've heard them called, like, Kens, and then I've heard, what else are they called?
Heralds? Stupid heralds. I would call someone...
they're all... See, that's a new one for me. I can't remember the other one, but if I hear it, then I'm just going to be like, yeah, that's it.
I would call them heralds. They seem like heralds to me.
Heralds? Okay, they're now known as heralds.
Okay.
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 All right.
All right.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
All right. So, to bring up, like, funny stuff, action figures are dolls, right?
What?
Yeah. So, you know a Barbie doll, right?
Yes.
And you know a Batman action figure, right?
Yes.
Are they not basically the same thing?
No.
Explain your reasoning.
Okay. Well, for one, Batman is cool. Barbie is just... That's just girly, dude. Like, you take off their shirt and they just got their breasts in there. Like...
I don't know, man. Sometimes you can
off Batman's shirt and his six packs there. Like, I mean, which one would you rather see?
I don't know, man. If Barbie can do action stuff too, I was just explaining to my coworker. I was like, Barbie can go into space, and then you can imagine her going through a meteor shower. I was like, is that not action-y enough for you?
Well, okay, you see, Barbie can only move 4 joints. Well, technically 5, but for the most part, 4 joints. Her 2 arms and her 2 legs. Batman, he's got like 10 joints he can move.
Uh-huh.
So, technically, the more is the action.
All right. So, what you think? As our resident feminist here.
Okay.
And by feminist, my viewers, I mean because she's a female. Just in case.
No, you totally...
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not one of those, like, I'm not an extremist at all. Like, yeah, women's rights, whatever, cool, I get that. But I definitely do not see men and women as equals for multiple reasons, but I won't even get into that. But as far as, like, Barbie versus action figure...
Justin's angry now.
I think we should get into this because my friend was saying that men and women are equals or whatever, and I had to explain to him that we are significantly not equal on several playing fields.
How about after she explains her Barbie theory?
Oh yes,
and
explain that.
Yeah, then we can get into that. That'd be nice.
Okay. I mean, they're both cool in their own way. I will admit right now that I have, in fact, owned Barbies before in the past. But if anything, it was just kind of a phase. I grew out of that pretty quickly. And as far as the action figures, I'm trying to see the difference between them. Because I'm going to have to go with Justin over here right now. You can only do so much with Barbie. It's kind of like play pretend kind of doll. And I mean, yeah, you can do the same thing with action figures. They share similarities, but I always think action figures could always do more than like Barbie could. I think the thing with her was just like, you can dress her. I think that was it. If you're like a really girly girl, then yeah, Barbies are definitely for you. But if you're more of like, you actually want to have fun with your toy, maybe an action figure might be better for you.
All right, well, that's fine.
Yeah, you just got owed. How do you feel?
I feel like, as the host, that's my job. I either get owned or I owe people. It's like, that's literally my job as the host here. I'm supposed to bring up new thoughts and ideas to this podcast. So I always say like ideas that are like thought provoking, and I feel like I've accomplished that today. So I technically won, even though I got owned. It's a nice bittersweet feeling, like a LW. You lost, but you won. So it's like Pyrrhic victory,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into the whole equal thing, so I was on TikTok today before I went to work, and I came across this guy who was talking about he had several videos about several different murders and murderers. And I gotta say, there's a lot of murderers I did not know existed. For instance, there was this guy, I don't remember what his name is, but what he would specifically do was he would go years in advance, plant, they were called kill kits is what he called them. He would go around to different states. He was all in the U.S., and he would go around to different states. He was constantly traveling and plant kill kits into the ground either months or years in advance. And then he would go to those states, like after a certain time period, and he would just murder someone.
So like a planned serial killer, basically, because he planned it.
He was random though, is the thing, and the police had only caught like 30 bodies, I think, is what they had. But he could have killed a lot more people than that, and they don't know because he killed himself back at the end of 2012 in his cell when he finally got caught. He killed himself. And he left notes before he killed himself about victims that he potentially killed, but they still don't know how many he killed.
Right.
So I thought that was very interesting.
I mean, yeah, since it's October, everyone's going like spooky, doing spooky story. Yeah, and I feel like, that is very interesting because he basically is like, he randomly, I don't know if he even planned some of those. Like, he picked like a person. Like, he planned that person, or he just picked a random person. He's like, one day I'm just going to go kill people. He's like...
Yeah, he picked random people. He would go into random locations. Oh, he also robbed banks and stuff, and he never got caught. Never got caught. He was extremely smart with what he did. But he got bored into, killing, so he got sloppy, and that's how he got caught.
I find it always funny. It's the boredest people that do the stupidest stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the guy, he was he acted like a normal guy. Like, no one literally knew that he did what he did. Because when he went on traveling trips and all that, he would turn off his phone completely so no one could GPS track him.
Right.
And,
sociopath.
And he always used cash.
Definite sociopath. And smart. Great. What we always wanted in life.
Yeah. But how do you feel about the Zodiac Killer finally being uncovered?
His name was the Zodiac Killer?
No. This is a different guy. No, Zodiac Killer. I'm talking about the Zodiac Killer.
There's a Zodiac Killer?
I've heard of this guy, but I don't know a lot.
Really?
I don't know anything.
I kind of just came across, so I was like...
You're my first instance.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I get this. So this guy, he had killed back in, so he has 5 confirmed people that are dead, and he did these killings in a span of between 1968 and 1969, questionably, but he potentially could have at least 28 more victims because he claimed to have killed 37 people, but he died back in 2018. But his identity just got discovered, I don't know, like last week or something like that.
What's with these people, man?
I don't know. I really don't know.
What the fuck?
It was a 51-year investigation that was going on about him. Yeah. And they just now figured it out, who it was, and he's dead.
Great. Lovely.
Yeah.
Why name them
it's
the Zodiac
funny.
Killer, though? Did they say why?
Huh?
Why name the Zodiac Killer?
Well, he would leave why was he named?
His calling card, basically?
Yeah, he would leave coats.
Coats.
Hold on, let me see the exact reason why he was named the Zodiac Killer.
Uh-huh. And some spooky stuff this time. Mm-hmm. Soda? Soda?
Wait, hello?
Oh, you're alive. Oh, jeez, man. I was like, he's going off searching, and I was like, oh, well, Soda hasn't talked in a while.
Sorry.
So he called himself the Zodiac Killer.
Oh, okay.
There was not really a reason why. He just called himself the Zodiac Killer.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
With that, I think we should lead off into, like, the better gender and stuff like that.
Equal gender?
Yeah, equal gender. Better gender, equal gender, whatever genders. Deaf.
Well, only I gotta say the male species is obviously the superior gender.
Most people would actually just say, like, in terms of science, people would be like, yeah, in terms of science. But in the matter
but women are great, you know. Soda's great.
yeah, man. In the matters of the heart, I would leave it to women. Women
You would what?
In the matters of the heart, women are a little bit more in tune with their heart.
I mean, that's why I say we're not equal, because we specifically have jobs, and, like, scientifically that is proven. Biologically speaking, that is proven. I mean...
Yeah, it's true.
We're completely... I mean, of course, we're both human. We both have emotions and all that, so of course we're equal on that playing field, but, I mean...
It's sexual dimorphism at its best.
Yeah, we have specific roles that we play in society. For instance, you know, if you take more of a traditional route, which is what I take, you know, the man typically works and the woman stays home and takes care of the kids, you know, and cleans up the house. Whatever, you know?
That's understandable.
That's just typical, you know, because
Nuclear
men typically go out and work and, you know, do all that stuff. And, I mean, we're also leaders, naturally speaking, for the most part. So, I mean, we just have that drive to want to do that. For instance, I mean, I'm applying to work full-time because that's just what I want to do. And that's, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Soda?
E?
Your turn?
Okay. Gotcha. As far as, you know, men being leaders, I'm totally with Justin on that. I'm not to say that women can't be leaders. It just depends on the person, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely, me personally, I would appreciate, like, say, okay, for example, say that I was married or whatever, right?
You're married.
I would like for my husband to be the head of the house, the leader. That now, you know, he and I would share, like, a few of the stuff, like, you know, maybe you would help around the house sometimes, you know, but I wouldn't expect him to do it all the time, because I understand, you know, but I'm definitely not to the mind, so if we're talking about the mindset of, like, you know, the man works and then the, you know, woman stays home and takes care of the kids or whatever, considering I'm probably not going to be having kids anytime soon, that's one less thing he and I can worry about. But he, for the most part, would just be caring for animals, because that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And we would just be working.
Understandable.
He would have his roles and I would have mine.
Yeah, I can get behind that. For me, it's more like I'm okay with, like, a flip, but not too much of the flip.
Well, yeah, I get that too.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you could stay at home, but you still doing stuff. Mostly because I was raised in the era where everyone has to work to support everyone. So it's like,
Right.
yeah, everyone, yeah. So it's like, yeah, I want to be like, yeah, let's go back to the old days, where someone was home watching the kids, making rules,
Right.
and then the father enforces them and brings home the bacon. But because of how society is right now, I can still get the flip. Now, my thing here is, because I agree with all of you, it's the fact that what I think people lose sight of what gender equality really means. All right, and here's where I think they lose sight of it. I think they lose sight of it because it comes down to rights. It's like, you have the right to certain stuff, right? It's like, I'm gonna bring. Did we talk about rape in the? Yeah, we did talk about the consent laws. Like how we talked about how women are more socially acceptable of getting raped, but besides men, and it's like, how is that equal in any way? Yes, I get it. We just talk about how being men is the leader, but it's about like, everyone has feelings. We're all allowed those feelings. But it has to be acceptable in a certain way or not at all. And it's like, come on, guys. We fight for gender equality, but y'all lose sight of like what it really kind of means to be gender equality.
And also, I mean, the other thing is with the whole gender equality thing is going on what they lose sight in. I mean, typically they still expect men to do more into society, yet are calling for gender equality, which just makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Like, they still expect, if the parents get divorced, for the man to be paying half and, to be still taking care of the family while they're divorced. Which makes absolutely no sense if you're talking about gender equality.
That's another thing, like, where I don't get it. I've had, I'm not going to name anybody, but I do have someone, and this person, their parents, they had a divorce, but it was a really nasty divorce. And then when it came to like appearing in court and everything, the dad wanted to, fight for his kids. He wanted to take care of them because the mom was honestly a lazy person, right?
Yeah.
But guess who won custody?
The woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents are divorced, and, and I'm glad that they are. My dad didn't really fight for me or anything like that, and that's great. I'm glad, So, I mean, it's not really tying into that.
Yeah.
But, my dad was still, even though he wasn't really
there
that good a father to me, not even there. I haven't seen him in like 6 years.
Uh-huh.
He's still expected to pay child support, which I agree to an extent because it's hard on my mom and all that, but at the same time, he's not really in my life. So, I mean...
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, I mean, personally speaking, it makes zero sense.
It's... This idea is like, hey, you're not there, so you're not actually supporting them. So you have to support them, monetarily. Even though the mom works, you still have... It's like, because... And, like, I can get behind it. Like, yeah, you're not there. This person needs your help. And you literally kind of, put life on this world. So you have to support them somehow. Right? But it's when they... It's when they get a little bit crazy about it, all right? It's like, hey, the woman doesn't want rights to the child, and the man does. Well, too bad. It's like, come on. It's kind of like, they're starting to have like the men can say something about the abortion thing, right? Like,
it's all the same. Like, I mean, you can't really say the man can't have a say when you're agreeing with, gay men who do, run their mouth about it.
Right? Because, it's like they don't think about. I don't want to be rude or anything, but this is literally
Think
what
about the whole picture.
Yeah, like, how did that child get there? Yeah, you're carrying it, but someone had to put it in there. They kind of should have a say in it, you know.
Yeah.
Which is why
Yeah,
they.
no one. So I'm libertarian, and typically libertarians, fight for abortion.
Yeah.
Which I'm on the sideline, and I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense, because from a libertarian's perspective, we're supposed to be on the fence of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which is our basic moral background for, the Bill of Rights and what our country was founded on.
Right, because that's the entire name is like that.
It's what freed, black people during the Civil War time, or, during slavery and all that.
Yeah.
And that logic still applies with, a baby. And so I get asked, because typically they are supposed to fight for abortion, because for whatever reason, people think libertarians are some kind of anarchists because we don't care. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying we don't want the government's involvement in a lot of things, especially when it comes to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, they're like, how can you fight for abortion if you're libertarian? And I'm like, well, because it's a life. I'm completely against any law, unless you have to defend yourself, that causes killing onto another person. That's why I'm completely against the death penalty, even against rapists, murderers, and everything like that. Because it's still a life. It's not our call to end a life,
Yeah, I can see that.
And, that's just a huge part of my life, because, I don't know. It's just dumb. And they're like, well, aren't you not giving liberty and happiness to the woman? And so I had to think about it. I didn't have an answer to it. And honestly, yes, you're giving liberty to the woman, because even though, the pregnancy is not going to make a woman happy. It's just not, you go through
unless she wanted it. It's never going to make her happy unless she wanted that.
Yeah, exactly. But even in the cases of rape and incest or whatever, the small cases, it's not the child's fault for the fault of the father, and even then, death penalty is not given to rapists, on a legal stance. So you're giving more rights to the rapist than you are to the, child. Right. So it's just really dumb.
Right. See, for me, I feel like we put a lot of stock into a lot of things. Well, really, we should look at it from like this. You want it? You don't want it? All right, cool. It's whatever. They actually came. I was in my what is this? Psychology? I think it was psychology. We were in a psychology class, and it was like they had a discussion of like, because they basically it was basically a fight against abortion or with abortion, and it was like, because the law states like, if it's alive, you have to keep it. But if it's not alive, you're free to kill it because it's, not there. So like in the first few weeks, when there's no brain waves or heartbeat, it's kind of like just cells, in which case you can kill it because it's mostly just cells. When it starts to have a brain wave and a heartbeat, this is old law, by the way. I can't remember because it flip-flops with most of the presidency.
Yeah. That's old law. Yeah.
Yeah. So it
used to be brain activity.
Yeah. So like I can see why, like, man, this child is born of rape. You are never gonna get the support you need. And like it's basically to certain people, it's basically you're carrying your trauma with you. It's like a moving, walking scar that grows with you no matter where you go. So some people, I'm like, okay, understand. I can see why your abortion is needed. And then you got these people out here that are like, yeah, I have sex every day. I get knocked up. I just get an abortion and I go back to having sex. Come on, guys. How is that practicing safe sex and just being smart? Like, come on.
It's just like everything in life has consequences, right?
Right.
So I mean, if you're gonna have, sex, you should know the consequences. You're either gonna get an STD, you're gonna get either like an STI, or you're gonna get a baby. Like, those are the consequences of sex. Right. Or I mean, if you're married, nothing really could happen other than like the baby, I guess. But there's always consequences to life. So I mean, statistically speaking, most women just get abortions because they can get abortions. It's not even because they can't take care of it or rape or anything.
It's because they can. Like, the option's there. Yeah, I'll just get an abortion. Why can't you just use the pills? Well, the pills cause me to go through, like, pain and hormonal imbalance. My doctor said not to. But he did tell me I can get an abortion. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
I actually saw a graph the other day. On day 1 of conception, the baby actually starts making its own DNA, like separate from the mother, or whatever.
Cool beans.
And then by like day I think 10 or something like that,
I see it.
It starts producing its own blood, like separate from the mother. And
Interesting.
All that. So I mean, I don't know.
Who knows?
There's a good book about abortion. It's called Ethics of Abortion. It talks about both of the
viewpoints,
arguments.
I see.
And kind of debunks them from both pro-life and pro-choice kind of thing. So it's a very interesting read.
All right, nice. So, Soto, is are they able to talk? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, there he is.
Oh, hey, what's up?
All right. So, we have a new guest today. I will leave.
Cheerio.
Cheerio. Is that what you want to name yourself?
That's my gamer tag. Yeah, G Cheerios.
Right, but is that what you want to call yourself? That's fine. I just wanted to.
I'm Gabriel.
All right.
Okay.
So we have our guest today. His name's Gabriel. New to our podcast. Say hi, everyone, to Gabriel.
Yeah.
Welcome to Celestales, where we talk about the weird, the wacky, and the things that people talk about but don't talk about in actual public because they're afraid of being shamed because society is a shameful society.
My ass is so white. It is so white. I'm not even joking.
That's normal.
Why are you looking at your... Okay, you know what? Never mind.
I'm pulling up my...
Did I join that weird talk?
No, we were just talking about abortion, and then you joined.
You technically joined in at the end of a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if any...
I typically will pull up my pants, though, and just look at my tan line. I'm freaking white. If you spank my ass, like, it's gonna leave a red mark, and you're gonna be able to see it. I'm just that pale. I feel like I should go out in, like, a bikini, kind of thing. Or, like, a thong.
Mankini.
Yeah, like a thong, and just, like, tan. Because my ass is so white.
So, yeah, welcome to Celestales.
It's not like you go out and you just get that tan, though, on your butt.
I mean, yeah, it's covered up most of the time.
This actually leads into my my spare topic from that anime I was talking about.
Oh, no.
It does. So, a woman was changing clothes, and she had the curtains wide open. She was changing her underwear and clothes, all right? And you just happened to see it, right? And you're just standing there watching because, I mean, come on. Come on. It's like going to a nude beach and you or a woman walking by, or a man. We don't really care because everyone's attractive in certain ways, and they look attractive. They're wearing some nice clothes, and it shows off a little bit of their cleavage of both men and women. And you're gonna glance because it's nice to look at, and then you look away.
I love looking at cleavage.
Right. So, is it bad? I mean, she was doing that. Like, is it okay? What are the rules we have to set as a society for this to be okay and to not, be shamed for it? Because let's face it, I went to go pick up some documents. There was an attractive female, because usually it's a female at the desk of no matter where you go, because that's literally how we planned it. And she just started to stretch. She stretched because she's been sitting all day, and she stretched her arms up so high. Her what was it, a blouse or a sweater, whatever it was, it rose, and I saw a stomach, and I glanced and I looked away because I was like, I respect her, right? But I also don't want to get into trouble. But God help me, I want it to look so bad, like, where's the cutoff point of glancing?
I say I don't really care. If you wanna go out nude or whatever, then you do you. I don't really care.
Right? Because let's face it, this leads back into people like, yeah, she was asking for it. No, she technically wasn't. She was asking to be looked at, but she wasn't asking for anything else. What do you guys think? Gabriel, Soto? Talk to me.
Well, I mean,
so
I don't.
You're a female. What is your?
Right. To be fair, if you look at a lot of social media and everything, some girls are in fact asking for it. I'm not saying all of them are, but some of them are asking for it. So how
do you know if someone is asking for it? Let's start there.
There was actually a little mini sermon that I was watching. So if you look at a lot of social media, and especially if you're like in the cosplay realm, there are some girls where like they will post the most lewdest cosplay, and they actually have an OnlyFans, and that's kind of their way of making money on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think you're asking for trouble if you go that route. Because you're just going to get you are going to get a lot of male attention. And even female attention, too. So, yeah.
I mean, I honestly respect women too much to be, looking at them that way. But, I agree with y'all that sometimes, or a lot of times, women, a lot of them are asking for that kind of attention, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I personally would never, if I had a daughter one day, I would never let her dress like that, just because I would be scared.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. I've seen a lot of girls, younger than all of us, that are wearing stuff where I'm like, girl, cover up.
Oh yeah, that's my sister. My sister likes to dress. Well, I mean, she doesn't go out of the house, but in the house, she likes to dress like that. It's just I don't get it. You're a minor, if you're an adult, okay, you make your own decisions, but you're a minor.
Well,
who are you trying to get attention from?
Well, that's when you start to. That's when you start to pull out the public versus private rules. See, minors, they don't know better, depending on their age group. I'm assuming what's your sister again? Was she 10?
She's 13.
13? Okay, so when she's doing that in private and she's not taking pictures or anything, she's doing that for her sake. Because she's
yeah.
Right, and I understand that. Cool. It's when they go out dressed like that.
Yeah, it's but sometimes she tries to go out like that. And my mom's literally yelling at her to change. And it's But, like, I don't get what's going on in, like, her mind that she wants to be, like, a hoe. You know? Like, I don't get that.
Now, I'm the person that was like, if you feel comfortable in those clothes, good for you. Everyone deserves to be comfortable in their own clothes.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to understand that when you go out a certain way, you have to understand the consequences that your stuff brings. You have to think about it. Because there's two types of people in this world. People that go out dressed like that for the attention, and people that go out dressed like that because it feels comfortable, and they just sadly get that attention. Now, there's never gonna be a differentiate. There's no way to tell the difference. And that's okay. We're not shaming anyone. But you have to, they gotta understand. That's when you make like a compromise. It's like, okay, I get it. You want to dress like this. You want to dress kind of slutty. Do you understand what dressing slutty means, though? What you ask them, like, most people be like, yeah, first impression is important. But most people don't understand how important a first impression is. Because even the colors that you wear shows what type of attitude you're bringing to the table.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, I want to praise your sister. Good on you, sister. But sister, think before you walk out the door. What do your clothes say to another person? To a female and a male, it's always going to be different. Even if they're gay or anything. You know, it's always going to be different. To a female, you might be like, yeah, I'm the baddest bitch in this building. Better step off. And to a man, it's going to be like, damn. She's smoking. Right?
And I mean, my sister, dude, she literally gets hit up by like 5 guys a day, maybe more. I don't know. She gets a lot of attention at school, and I mean, I don't blame her. You know,
right?
Like, I mean,
it's okay to say she's attractive because if you use just a general basis, because you have 2 scales. You have general attractiveness and you have personal attractiveness. If you say on the general scale of attractiveness, your sister is like pretty good, then I'm like, yeah, that's understandable. Right?
For her age, I mean, I told my mom, we actually had this conversation in the summer. You know, my mom was asking, like, how does she prepare for school? Because she was going back to school because of the whole, year, and lockdown and whatever, online. You know, and she hadn't been to, like, middle school because how her school works is, like, 6th grade is in a completely different building, and then 7th and 8th grade are their own buildings.
Okay.
So she had,
makes sense.
like, grade, like, the 8th grade building or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, dude, she's getting hit up by, like, high schoolers right now. I'm not even kidding.
Damn.
Like, freshmen and sophomores are, like, hitting on her or whatever. Because they think that she's, like, older than she is, I guess. But, like, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what ridiculous. They put in these foods, man.
Yeah, I know. But, like, I mean, she's just, like, she's getting hit up left and right. So I don't get why she needs to, like, dress like that.
All right.
Like,
all right. The Justin hour is over. It's time for the other 2 to shine, Justin. You gotta, I get it. You're speaking the truth. You're speaking the truth, but I need my other guests to also speak their mind. They speak their mind, and they're quiet types. I understand that, and I understand they would stay quiet. But I also need like that moment of time where I can be like, "What do you guys think?" All right. Well, they already said what they think. I just need that. It's like I need. Come on.
Yeah, I have a question though, since they already asked. So typically, if you go into the porn industry or even like OnlyFans or whatever, typically it's harder for you to get a job, I think. Right?
It is.
Statistically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so how do you like? I mean, if you do porn or whatever, you don't necessarily have like a normal life. You know, that's what I heard. And so, what are your guys' thoughts?
I would say it just depends because I can tell you something about these cosplayers. Cosplaying is like a side thing for them where they can earn a decent amount of money, honestly, especially if you go to events and stuff like that. Is that their main job? Not at all. For the most part. And they they live a pretty normal life, and they don't even mention the fact that they cosplay. So, I mean, you can have a normal life, because I'm sure that when they take off the makeup and then the wigs and the outfits, they look completely different. The power of makeup, bro.
Uh-huh.
Very rarely have I ever seen a cosplayer just not in makeup or anything like that. So some of them can very well have a normal life if they want to. However, if you're
Mia Khalifa.
yeah, no, any type of a normal life for her might be just bye, gone, sayonara.
It doesn't exist.
Yes.
No, not for Mia Khalifa.
So do you think because she does porn, you think she should not have a normal life?
Okay, so everyone deserves to have a normal life, honestly. Whether you do porn or not, I'd recommend you don't, because there's a lot of negative side effects. Not only that, but I am not into the whole sex trafficking industry or anything like that. It's just no, not a fan.
No.
Not at all.
It's just if you do a job like that, it's just you've got to understand the consequences. It's gonna have, I guess you could say, positive consequences, but also negative consequences. So it's just kind of up to the person if they want to take those risks or not.
There we go. Could have said it better myself. Well done, my friend.
I am finding it slightly funny that the theme of today's episode is, when will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences? That is literally our theme for today. It's really funny how that worked out.
That is very funny.
Anything else? I ran out of topics. All I got is Pokemon Unite and travel.
I mean, we could talk about murders again if you want.
I mean, yeah, I kind of want to hear from Gabriel. What you got, Gabe?
Yeah, Gabe, what do you want to talk about?
I mean, I don't know. I've had a lot of interesting days recently, so I mean,
You're free to talk about whatever, because this is an open thing. You don't have to delve too deep into anything, but you're free to just be like, yeah, I met this girl, and she was kind of whatever. She was weird, whatever. You're free to.
I mean, I actually literally just started horseback riding lessons, so that was actually kind of cool.
How does that work?
I mean, this place is basically, right now they're just taking me through the basics, essentially, how to get on the horse, how to get off the horse, and how to basically get the horse to walk in a straight line, how to keep the horse from drifting, and how to turn the horse, and basically all that.
Right.
Bunch of basics.
Is there any gunslinging involved?
Not yet.
Dang.
Not it.
But they are Western horses, so I mean...
Well, whenever you become a master, I will pay you $500 to teach me how to sweep a woman off her feet with a gallant white horse. I mean, I can do that naturally, but I need this precise movement.
Of course, that's what you want to use it for.
Of course I will. I can use it for everything. And then I'll be a gunslinger. Call me Tonto.
I'll teach you how to mount a horse while it's moving.
Oh, nice.
I mean, Soto, but I mean, you can't really disagree. Don't tell me you don't want to be swept off your feet by, a guy riding a horse.
Actually, no, I am actually afraid of riding horses. There's an interesting fact about me that I've kind of I don't really bring up, but yeah.
Oh.
Actually, I'll go ahead and go up and pet a horse if it's not, gonna kick me in the face or whatever. But, am I gonna ride one? No. There's actually a lot of things that I just won't do. There's also, I won't get on a cruise, but then again, if you watch Titanic, why would you?
I mean, the Titanic lied to you, because at the end, it should have made a whirlpool when it sunk, but it didn't. I mean...
Yeah. No. Titanic was...
Yeah.
Fine,
like, you're still sinking in a ship. Why would I subject myself to that?
It was definitely a government conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, anything else you want to get off your chest? Miss, I won't ride a horse or a cruise?
Well, I'm sorry. Everyone's got their own irrational fear. There's mine.
My irrational fear is you have an irrational fear.
Yeah, Tony, you know what you were getting into?
No.
Of course you didn't.
Every episode's special because I have no idea what I'm getting into. Especially the fear episode I had. I had no idea what I was getting into with that. We were like, let's talk about fears and how people would probably have it. And then I walked into like I forget what fear it was. It was a whole fear. And this person took like some type of honeycomb and placed it on their finger. And I was like, that looks weird. Oh my goodness. Everything else was fine. I was like, why is this picture so weird?
Huh.
Every episode is special. Even if it's kind of bland or boring or really doesn't make sense. You know, you get like a special vibe out of it. You know, it kind of feels nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so I'm going mini golfing tomorrow with our Bible study. I think Gabe's going to.
What type of mini golfing? Is it like...
It's just a little putt-putt.
So it's normal
Yeah.
mini golf. No wackiness
Yes.
or anything.
Yeah, no whacking each other. I mean, I might whack someone because I'm not the best with mini golf, I guess.
Gabe, where you going?
You don't really play it?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be playing.
Yeah, I'm planning go.
No, I meant like,
nice.
you don't usually play mini golf.
No, I don't actually. I don't know. I don't typically go. And only kind of golfing I like going to is like Top Golf because I like to see how far I can hit the golf ball, which I can actually hit a golf ball pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing myself, I'd probably miss it.
You swing the club like 20 feet away.
Where'd the ball go?
And I let go and I just hit someone.
Oh, man.
I love it.
Or better yet, I accidentally swing it behind me, like hit someone.
Like Wii Sports with bowling. Everyone just jumps.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a weird noise.
What noise?
My cough?
That was a cough. It sounded like a...
Like a what?
Oh, you didn't hear it? Oh. It sounded like a... like that. You know?
Oh, yeah, just all my sounds are weird. You know that, Tony. You probably know that better than anyone. And I feel so bad for Gabe because he's now getting into it, and I'm just like, I want to apologize ahead of time for, like, everything. I'm so sorry.
Gosh, we were all hanging out at freaking Gabe's house, and they were playing Mario Kart, and she noises, and Gabe just looked over at her. I saw his expression, and he looked over at her, and he's like, why are you making those noises?
He's always squealing when she plays Mario Kart or Super Smash Brothers or anything.
Hey, you should play when you're kicking her ass, man. She's like, oh! And I'd be like...
Oh, and especially when I'm beating her, she starts making all these high-pitched noises.
And then when she beats Gabe, he's like, like...
I basically wanted to, like, I did it! I beat him! Oh, yeah! Like, I think I probably did something like that.
Yeah, you keep peeking the mic every time you do it, too.
Gosh.
She peeks, like, you gotta understand. She did that when we were playing last time we were playing. Oh my god, she peeked every time. Because there's two types of peeks. Peeking and when the mic can't even pick up the noise. And there's peeking when you're just like, you're at the maximum level. She would do the first peek. The mic couldn't even pick her up no more from how high she was.
Sorry.
It's all right.
It's okay. It happens. It happens.
Happens far too often. I just make far too many weird noises. I think one time, I think I was actually talking to Gabe, and I forgot what sound I made, but he said, what? Let me see. Oh, yeah. I can't remember. I think I might have tried to do Pikachu, which is just a horrible mistake in of itself.
Oh, do you want to do that? Oh.
I'm not going to do that right now. Anytime I make Pokemon sounds, everyone makes fun of me.
Yeah, your light just peak again.
It did. I couldn't even catch her.
Is she there?
She is.
I'm still here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my dad was saying that Pikachu is everywhere in Japan.
That's the point. He's the mascot.
Like I said
Him
before,
and Eevee.
Pikachu is the John Cena of Pokemon.
John Cena! Anyway, yeah, he is basically the John Cena of Pokemon.
There's other Pokemon too. Piplup's cuter. Fuck. Never mind. You heard nothing.
I heard everything.
What the? Okay, so I'm in like a gaming TikTok like Discord, and apparently this guy is paying people to post videos of his games that he's making or whatever.
Oh.
He said for 3 videos you can make $15, 6 videos you can make $30, 12 videos you can make 60, 18 or 15 you can make 80. Oh, I'm about to do this real quick.
Does he
Actually,
tell you
I
how
think I have.
Did he tell you how he's paying?
I don't know.
Always check to see how he's paying before you do stuff. I've learned that as I went through a whole like commissioners list. Yes, we only pay PayPal. Okay, yeah, depending on what it is, we do a deposit or we don't do a deposit. Okay, and it is a lot of learning to be done.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, he has a pretty big page though. He's got like 40K or 400K.
So he's trustable. It's all right.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, this was posted. Oh, this was posted 10 minutes ago.
Nice. Is there anything else we got to talk about? Because it seems like we're kind of chilling now.
Oh, well, I mean, we can go back to the murder thing because I've had this thing on my mind because I watched the murder videos.
Talk about your goddamn murder.
Okay, thank you. Oh my gosh,
this man really wants this.
How would y'all go about like creating the perfect murder scene to where you never get caught?
Oh, okay, that's pretty fun to get into.
I'm sorry, what?
So,
how is that pretty fun to get into? Why are you thinking?
Very fun, Tony.
Why is she thinking that this is fun?
One time in the good old days, I asked Siri, how do you hide a dead body?
Who?
What? You have Siri for that.
Who asks you these questions?
It was like, there are some ditches nearby.
Oh my gosh.
What?
You can actually find stuff like that. Or you could, let me see, what's the right way of disposing a body? The typical thing you could probably do that, you wouldn't have to worry about any remains would be just burning the whole thing. I mean, cremation. Just saying.
I'm trying to figure out who asks you these questions as children. I'm just saying.
Well, this is just like a day-to-day kind of mind thing I think about.
Okay,
so
that's understandable. But they said, they acted like it was like a question they were asked. And we were like, yeah, that question's always fun to answer. I was like, what? Excuse me?
Oh, sorry. It's just more like I'm with Justin on this one. I think about anything, everything, yeah. Whether it's cheerful You
heard it here, folks. The third coming of How to Get Away with Murder 3, the movie.
I mean, look, I think if I was put in the right position and in the right mindset, I could be a pretty good serial killer. Not gonna lie.
That's anybody, though. I mean, if you know what you're doing, And if you've got the mental capability for it, then all right. I mean, I don't approve of it at all because I'm not really into murdering people. But
same.
Yeah.
It's okay. I already knew I
Anyone
was a
capable of it.
sociopath in the making.
I mean, this is all online, so I mean, if we were to murder someone, I mean, here's our evidence right here.
Gabriel
Pretty
is
much
also a
agree with
witness. He hasn't said anything because he's a witness.
And Gabe also knows me.
He's like,
I know all of you.
Look, Gabe, I promise I'm not going to murder you. I don't think.
You don't say what? No, it's my buddy. It's my buddy. No touch, no toca.
Well, I could have secret cameras planted.
in the teddy
It would
bear.
be at your house.
That feeling when Soto doesn't realize I implanted a camera in that teddy bear I got her. Just so I can murder her later.
Actually, my friend...
Something.
Huh?
Oh no, he did get me like a stuffed animal, and it even like has his voice in there.
What she doesn't
realize. Check it for like.
What she doesn't realize is that I give teddy bears from Build-A-Bear Workshop to females. That's my calling card.
Oh my gosh.
I've already set up my perfect serial murder. Nice. Why is he killing only females? They all rejected him, my friend. They all rejected him.
Oh, that's a fun thought. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Screw you. Okay.
Okay, so anyway, Soto, how would how would you go about killing someone if you got the chance to it?
All right. Obviously, the first and smartest thing to do would be to make sure that there's no witnesses.
Oh, yes.
So,
okay, let's
Yeah.
say you're like let's say you've been stalking someone and they've got like a family. You decide to go psycho and go to their house, to murder them, but they've got like, okay, let's say it's a guy, so their girlfriend's at the house. What do you do with their girlfriend? Like you're in the moment and you want to do it right then and there. Well, what are you going to do with the witness? Are you going to murder both people?
Probably. That's just honestly the smarter thing to do. Like I said, you definitely don't want any witnesses or to even take a chance with anybody. Because that's usually either, because from like what I've seen as far as documentaries, there was this girl and she was missing for like 10 years. Her and like two or some other girls. This guy just like kidnapped them and he just kept them in his house. So the girl actually just gained the trust of the dude, and then she had the freedom to like run around the house, right? And so she saw an opportunity to escape, and she found some people. She called the police and she was like, "Go save these girls. Here's this address."
Oh,
by the way, I'm also the girl that's been missing for like 10 years.
I heard about that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a crazy story.
It was. But the fact that she was gone for like 10 years and wasn't found, like, that's already a pretty good sign of like people being able to get away with stuff.
Oh yeah.
And not leaving like any tracks. So
look at the Zodiac Killer. Guy was gone for 51 years and was completely unsolved. And then when they finally solve it, the dude turns up dead. He's been dead for 3 years.
Gabe?
Yeah?
You want to throw in your 2 cents of how to get away with murder? 3?
Yeah, I mean, like Dea said, or Beto said, you don't want witnesses.
Alright. But what's the next step, is what I'm asking you. What's your next step, since...
I would say probably, dispose of the bodies in, like, a really smart way. Like, probably, like, cremation would probably be the best way, and then find a place to dispose of the ashes.
Well, the thing about...
And as far as, like, actually going about, like, actually killing them, you could get a gun. Just make sure that you don't, like, lose it.
Well,
which is why I just make a bad murderer, honestly, because I've got the memory of a... I don't know. I don't know what animal has a worse memory than me.
some bullets actually have, like, a tracking number on them. So really...
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, true. All right.
You best buy illegal.
I was about to say a gun can easily be, like, traced and whatnot.
Well, you can file off the serial number, which is not actually that hard.
Right, but most people don't know about the serial number. Which is why I put it up in the first place. You're just giving them more ammunition to kill us, Justin.
Look, I know all about this stuff.
Do you know about ballistic markings?
I do.
Oh,
I forgot that this had an anime.
He's... Alright, so Justin...
I'm so sorry. I got distracted. Totally my bad. I don't exist.
Okay. Justin, what would be the next step after disposing the body?
Well, okay, I wanna do my own thing. Okay, I don't want to do this. So this is what I would do, because I saw a really interesting story, so I kind of want to make it and bring a bunch of murders into one scene.
Okay.
So,
alright.
So, I actually want there to be witnesses, because if there is a witness, you can scare the crap out of them and torture them psychologically away from like where they are. And if they slip up, you know everything about them, right? So I would stalk my victim or victims like crazy. So what this guy did was he ran into the position of where he came to kill this girl, and the husband was home. But this dude was like really big, and he was also a police officer at the time. So, he had stuff. And so he came to kill this girl, and the husband was home. And what he did was he put plates on top of this husband and said, if you make any noises, I'm just going to kill everyone here. You're not going to have time to call the police or anything, So, he went to sexually abuse the wife and everything, and the husband ended up making noise with the plates, and he just killed everyone. But some of his victims, he kept in touch with them for a long time and all that, and none of them actually slipped up because they were just scared of doing so, because the dude was a cop. So I would want there to be witnesses, because I like the feeling of like psychologically messing with people kind of thing, but also like the murderous aspect of it, I guess,
Right.
But also I would kind of want to tie in like some kind of decoded messages, but make them like very, very like, hard to decode, like the Zodiac Killer kind of thing, I would also,
How to get
so
away
the
from
dude
it.
also on TikTok was also giving tips about what you should not do if you're gonna go murder someone, and he said you should wear either some sizes too small or some sizes too big for shoes, because mistakes that murderers make, or psychopaths or whatever, they wear the same shoe to the murder scenes, which is what gets them caught.
Right.
So you want to buy like a bunch of shoes, so like size 14 or size 7 or whatever, to the scene, so then it's not like trackable.
Right. Get that. All right.
I would also probably take pictures of where I killed the victims, but like say this is not where I killed them, and then take pictures of like other places, so then like it's all confusing or whatever.
Right, because if they find if they find your hiding spot, they'll just have pictures of like random places. Like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
You'll send them off your trail. Yeah, I get that. I was just thinking when you said you'll leave witnesses, And I was like, oh yeah, because people's memories are kind of shite. So by having a witness and then looking different, they'll be like, yeah, it's this guy. And they will guess wrong because you look different.
Yeah, I guess I would also do that too. I didn't even think of that.
It's all right. It's okay. While the first two people are making how to get away with murder 3, you're over here already on the 4th movie, How to Get Away with Murder 4, all by your lonesome. I get it, Justin. You've succeeded.
I really thought about this.
Oh, I've been thinking about this all day ever since I saw the TikTok or whatever. I was like,
goodness.
man, how would I do it? Oh man,
Scared.
it's like one day in like 30 years, you see me on TV and like this is exactly what I do.
It's like we've had evidence, but we didn't believe them.
Look, I promise I'm not gonna be a murderer. I could never come to actually killing someone because I don't know. Like
You'll do it in
you
your
gotta-
sleep. It's okay. We understand.
Like I'm messed up in the head, but like I'm not that messed up in the head. Like I don't get how people get that messed up or whatever.
Very bad day.
Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, anything else? Because I think we're pretty much done for today.
I mean, if you want to be done, we can be done.
Yeah, it's been past an hour. My podcast only lasts an hour, dang it.
How long has it been?
It's been an hour and 20.
I mean, look, when you talk about murders, time flies,
By the way, I think we should just reiterate this again. Some people just tend to have some really fucked up thoughts. That doesn't mean you gotta act on it. So even though I'm just saying for the audience.
Yeah, remember.
Even though we tend to have like fucked up thoughts, just know none of us are ever really gonna act out on it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Remember, murder is wrong.
Murder is
100%.
wrong. Thanks, Gabriel. Murder is wrong.
It's also Halloween season, so I mean, it's kind of okay to talk about this kind of thing. It's
Right.
like, Tony said.
Yeah. So,
and I must admit, there's a lot more like spookier stuff. People watching horror films and just all that fun spooky stuff.
so
In fact, I'm so excited. I'm actually going to see for the first time Todd Sweeney. I can't wait. Johnny Depp.
Of course. Well,
I must admit, he's not my favorite actor, but he's definitely like
of course.
impressive as far as like all the roles he's played.
Mhm.
I've watched quite a few of his movies, and I'm just kind of like, wait, that's him? What? So yeah,
Well,
fucking ADD. Anyways, go ahead.
if the viewers can take anything from this,
1 minute. Sorry, but if you guys want to end it, go for it. Yeah.
if the viewers want to take anything from this, is to always think before you act, and to always think, but never act. Use those correctly, and you'll have a smooth sailing life. Right? Remember, the theme of the episode, it's going to be the title too. When will you guys learn that your actions have consequences? As they bring this up at my future trial about how I murdered 50 women with Build-A-Bear workshop bears. They were like, you planned this from the get-go. Like, I left a trail. But I wasn't caught.
Remember, DNA work is also very intelligent nowadays.
Yeah. That's true. So, with that, I think we can say goodbye.
Alright.
Alright. I want to say your goodbyes. I think that's everyone. That's everyone that.
I speak for everyone.
Yeah, apparently. See you guys next episode. Bye.